10 correction officers now face criminal charges, including murder in the beating death of a young man from Harlem named Messiah Nantwi.
You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
Defendants began beating Messiah Nantwi, including multiple strikes to his body and head with their boots.
Start beating on him, kicking him, and he's just saying, "Please stop! I didn't do anything. Please stop."
You can see the man police identify as 21-year-old Messiah Nantwi in the dark jacket quickly pull out a gun. He opens fire. The victim drops to the floor. When he struggles to get up, the gunman shoots him in the head.
This one tough to even explain without it sounding twisted from the jump. You got a man, young, locked up 22, who got beat to death in prison by 10 correctional officers. 10. And this ain't no mystery death either. Folks know who did it. Charges been filed. But that same man, the reason he was in prison was because he had shot somebody in the head at point blank right inside a smoke shop in Harlem, then shot him again while he was laying on the floor trying to move. Whole thing on camera. So now we looking at two moments, two lives, two acts of violence, and the same man is at the center of both. Once as the one taking life and once as the one getting his taken. It's the kind of story that don't let you settle into easy answers. And maybe that's the point. Let's watch this unfold.
Now to a growing scandal involving the New York State prison system. 10 correction officers now face criminal charges, including murder in the beating death of a young man from Harlem named Messiah Nantwi. It happened at Mid-State Correctional Facility last month, and 10 other officers are accused in a separate deadly assault caught on video at nearby Marcy Prison in December. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace has been covering these cases. She joins us live with the latest. Sarah?
Well, and Gilma, the description in the indictment as to how Messiah Nantwi died was horrific. What we learned a short time ago from the special prosecutor is that there is some body camera footage, but many of the officers weren't wearing them as required or deliberately disabled them.
Wow. This afternoon in the Oneida County Courthouse in Utica, New York, 10 correction officers appeared to face a variety of criminal charges related to the beating death of 22-year-old Messiah Nantwi at Mid-State Correctional Facility on March 1st. All were handcuffed and pleaded not guilty.
The grand jury of the County of Oneida, by this indictment, accuses Mr. Levy of the felony crime of murder in the second degree.
2 officers are accused of second-degree murder as the top count, along with other charges. Their bail, $100,000 cash. In all, 5 officers are accused of manslaughter, others with gang assault and making false statements to cover up the crime. The indictment saying defendants began beating Messiah Nantwi, including multiple strikes to his body and head with their boots.
It was determined by the Onondaga County Medical Examiner that Mr. Nantwi died from traumatic brain injuries as a result of violent blows to his head, as well as at least 69 other serious blows about his body.
Okay, so this boy was in his 20s. However, he killed somebody. That don't make it right, but that's what happened.
Mate I spoke with by phone told me what he saw that day.
At the batons, I was open already. Then just guns blazing, and then they all fell in the room. Start beating on him, kicking him, and he's just saying, "Please stop! I didn't do anything. Please stop."
Some of the officers are accused of falsely claiming Nantwi had a weapon and then mopping up the blood to destroy evidence. What's so disturbing is that Nantwi's death was the second in 3 months in a New York State prison. Body-worn cameras investigators say officers did not know was rolling, shows them viciously beating 43-year-old Robert Brooks at nearby Marcy Correctional Facility in early December. 10 are facing murder and manslaughter charges in Brooks's case. I spoke with his father.
These officers get some kind of twisted, distorted pleasure from beating on other human beings. That is sick.
It is.
That's savage.
A similar reaction from Nantwi's maternal aunt who helped raise him. I spoke with her this afternoon. Her message, throw the book at all of them. They've been getting away with this for too long. And Governor Hochul just released a statement calling the case tragic, saying that she has directed DOC's Commissioner General Marticello to begin the termination process for all of those involved in Nantwi's death. Gilma.
That loved one not mincing words there. Sarah, is it possible that any of these officers could take pleas?
They have been offered pleas in the Brooks case, and we are just told that 6 other officers in Nantwi's case have agreed to cooperate in return for pleading guilty to some of the charges.
Sarah Wallace covering every turn of this case for us. Thank you, Sarah.
Now, here's the news clip that features why this young man got into prison in the first place.
Well, less than 48 hours after a man was gunned down inside the smoke shop here on Malcolm X Boulevard at 125th Street, local leaders are speaking out and demanding that it be shut down immediately. Now residents are joining their call for an end to all the gun violence. The smoke shop where 36-year-old Brandon Bunsen was shot and killed execution style on Easter Sunday night was technically closed, but the walk-up window was doing a brisk business selling hand-rolled cigarettes to eager customers.
You never know when the next shooting is going to occur, and that's no way for any community to live and operate.
In this graphic surveillance video, you can see the man police identify as 21-year-old Messiah Nantwi in the dark jacket.
So, yeah, Nantwi is the one with the hat on in the dark jacket. So he recently killed somebody. That's why he was incarcerated. And the same thing happened to him. The same thing happened to him, and it's sad.
Quickly pull out a gun. The frame is frozen here, but he opens fire. The victim drops to the floor. When he struggles to get up, the gunman shoots him in the head. While he's laid out, the shooter goes through his pockets.
We need to close this store. This store has been the scene of so many brutal beatings, stabbings, shooting just several months ago.
The only thing this place has brought has been violence. It brings opportunity for death. It brings an opportunity for proliferation of drugs. And situations like this, when it brings that level of negativity, it can't exist here.
Assemblyman Al Taylor says gun violence is worse than in the 1980s and 90s.
This is at proportions we've never seen, and we got to clamp it.
Police arrested 21-year-old Messiah Nantwi and charged him with murder and weapons possession. 28th Precinct Commander Captain Tariq Shepard stopped by to speak to the leaders, then spoke with us exclusively.
With this particular smoke shop I can speak to, which is in the 28th Precinct, this smoke shop at this location, sometimes we deal with just some illegal drug activity that we'll be working on, and we'll work with our partners like the sheriffs to make sure that doesn't continue, but also just the hanging out.
Now, the suspect is also charged in the deadly shooting of a 19-year-old that happened on Saturday. The residents here, they are sick and tired of the stress from the continual gunfire. We're live in Harlem. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News. Back to you.
Yeah,
horrible.
That was a lot. And not just because of what happened, but how fast everything in both clips turned violent. How quick the line got crossed. How cold it all felt. Let's start with the prison. Ain't nobody getting wrestled in there. They straight up jumped that man. He ain't have a chance. They had batons out before they even stepped in. You could hear it from the inmate who witnessed it. He was begging them to stop. Said he ain't do nothing. And they ain't just beat him. They made sure the story couldn't be told right. Disabled body cams. Lied in reports. Tried to say he had a weapon. Cleaned up the blood. Like nobody was ever gonna ask questions. Like his life.
Well, they acting like criminals they damn self. These guards. So, yeah, they don't need to have a job. They need to be incarcerated themselves. This is horrible what they did to this boy. But this boy, we got to remember, he killed somebody too now. But it's not an eye for an eye. That's not how we do stuff.
Life didn't matter enough for the truth. And let's be real. This ain't isolated. Another man got killed the same way just a few months earlier at a prison right across the street. Same setup, same cover-up. They wasn't just wilding. They was trying to remind him who run it, who hold the keys, who don't got to answer to nobody. But here's where it get hard. The man they did that to also took someone's life. He walked into that smoke shop, pulled a gun, and dropped somebody right there. Didn't flinch. And when that man was still alive, still moving, he fired again, then went through his pockets like he ain't just in somebody's whole story. Ain't nobody shooting back. He just walked in and took that man's life. Folks in that community were already hurt, already angry. That shop was known for violence, yeah. But what he did, that shook people. It was.
You're gonna die.
not do this.